Now I gotta see it through. Hop off the porch, now I'm in it. Say my goodbyes, I'll be gone till I'm finished. I could do a mile in a minute. Watch me do a mile in a minute. And I've been on this long road, still riding through all of these potholes. Won't faze me. Oh, it's gon' make me. Got everything I wanted like I stole some. Really, I just need my family in a cold one. Toast up to the cold nights and the broke ones. Finally up on top, so the joke's up. And I know I went missing, I've been living it up. And it is what it is, how I'm giving it up. Have you ever had a feeling more than feeling the love? Have you ever had a feeling and that feeling's enough? I got what I want, I got what I need, and the money keeps coming, it must be a treat, and I get what I need, I'm off for the breeze. I could never blame you for not growing with me. Hop off the porch, now I'm in it. Say my goodbyes, I'll be gone till I'm finished. I could do a mile in a minute. Watch me do a mile in a minute. And I've been on this long road, still riding through all of these potholes. Won't faze me. Oh, it's gon' make me. Hop off the porch, now I'm in it. Say my goodbyes, I'll be gone till I'm finished. I could do a mile in a minute. Watch me do a mile and a mile.
Seeing that looks like that little stab she. Yo, what's up, guys? Oh, I think I'm echoing. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Why am I echoing? Hold on. Yo, what's up, Silver? What's good, man? Let's see, maybe there was no. Sorry, technical difficulties. I don't know why it's doing this. First off, so. Cool.
And I don't know. I don't know. Get back over there. Okay, all right, there we go. Jesus Christ. All right, y'all, let's do it. Bro, I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, there's a community announcement. Let's do this thing. Yeah, we eating good, bro. You already know. I hope it's a demo. I'm super excited. All right, sorry about that sound issues, but I think we got it from here. I think we're good. I think we're good here. Yeah, bro. So excited. Hopefully we get this demo, man. I'm ready. Yo, Akudo, what's up, bro? Yeah, bro, you know I'm on it, dog. Had to be. I was like, man, I saw it. I was like, I'm gonna go live. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be slipping. Let's do this thing. Hey, Akudo, I got if we don't get a demo, I'll send you the other version. All right, let's go ahead and get it. So here. Yo, what up, Tazzy? He's Ray Mace. You know it, bro. It's a great 7 ads. I'm done with Twitch. Oh my God, bro. Right before. That's like the worst setup. All right, here we go. Let's do this thing. I'll make this full screen. Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Monster Hunter Wilds pre-launch community update. My name's Jono, EME Community Manager on Monster Hunter.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. I'm the Capcom USA Community Manager on Monster Hunter.
And welcome to our broadcast, which for the very first time will be bilingual in English and Japanese, which is a brand new concept for us. So we hope you enjoy it. And you'll probably not be surprised to find out why we're having it in English and Japanese, because as you can see, we have two very special guests with us. We have Monster Hunter Wilds director Yuya Tokuda, as well as Patrick from Capcom Europe, who will be translating for us.
What's up, Patrick?
It's great to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Now, Joe, we've introduced our esteemed guests. We've said hello, but why are we here today?
Yeah, today is a really special stream. Again, we have some special guests here joining us, and we would like to share a sincere thank you to everybody out there who participated in the open beta test that we held at the end of October. And today we're going to be spending some time talking about how a lot of the feedback from that open beta has influenced the development of the main game. So
let's go.
Just to kind of recap, the open beta was held with a couple of goals. The first, I think the most obvious one is we were able to give everybody a chance to play the game. It's a new hunting experience, new game, and it was great seeing everybody's responses. But the second part of that was really to test the different technology that's in the game, things like network load and game operation. So it was really great to see everybody's feedback and responses, but the team has really been working on the full game separately and making a lot of improvements and adjustments. And again, we just want to share thanks to everybody for sharing your feedback either through social media, our official survey, or through different places online. And while a lot of that feedback covered some known issues and things that we originally already planned to address in the final version of the game, a lot of the feedback actually covered some bugs and things that the team was not aware of or didn't intend to fix. So it was extremely helpful. And some of those fixes and adjustments are now prioritized for the final game, thanks to your feedback. And we're going to talk about a lot of that today. Jono, we actually had a round of previews go live recently, right? And that actually had some details that we're going to discuss today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the community response to that was fantastic. So if you have seen the previews, you will recognize some of the content in today's broadcast, but there is so much more. And on top of that as well, this stream is an opportunity for the development team to speak directly to you, to introduce even more and clarify what you may have seen in the previews as well. But please do keep in mind that this isn't fully comprehensive. There's even more adjustments to the final game beyond what you will see here today. And what is shown may not necessarily be final and is, of course, always subject to change. Now, obviously, now we've covered that. Let's talk about our guests. Obviously, having director Yuya Tokura here is so much fun. And Patrick will be doing the Japanese to English, so you'll be hearing a lot of them both. So, Tokura-san, what would you like to say to everyone before we get stuck in?
はい、最初に所さんから自己紹介やコメントをお願いします。
はい、モンスターハンターワイルドディレクターの徳田優です。今日はこのような場を設けていただきありがとうございます。
Yeah, this is kind of wild that they're doing this translation. I think it's just like a testament to how cool like Monster Hunter is like so integrated in different parts of the world. This is why you know this game gonna be big. That's why you know this game is just like, I mean, it's already big, but it's gonna be like even bigger. You know what I mean? Like League of Legends big.
Series for 20 years now, ever since Monster Hunter G times. So yeah, good get a chance to talk to you and let's have fun.
Amazing, yeah. But the open beta test was honestly, it was the response was overwhelming. We saw just a huge variety of responses and feedback, and just people enjoying it, and also sharing, what they thought of it in a constructive way. So, Tokura-san, could you talk a little bit about what your initial impressions were, seeing all the different reactions to the beta?
Bro, great time to be a Monster Hunter fan.
ユーザーの反応への徳田さんの反応について教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、まず本当にたくさんの方にご参加いただき、ありがとうございました。クロスプレイのマッチングサーバーにもし問題があった場合に、修正期間を取るために、モンスターハンターワールドのオープンベータテストよりも1ヶ月早く、開催したんですけれども、おかげさまで大きなサーバートラブルもなくテストを終えることができました。
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all, to all the many players around the world who took part in the beta. It was a very useful experience for us. You may have realized that the timeline was even earlier on this beta than the one we had from Monster Hunter World back in the day.
Yep.
It was about a month earlier before launch. The reason we had this one earlier was because of the addition of crossplay to Monster Hunter Wilds. That new system meant that we really wanted to make sure we had enough time to fix any issues that might have arisen with crossplay matchmaking on the servers.
Thank you, Capcom.
But fortunately, we were able to get through the open beta test without any significant hitches in that area.
また皆さんの、楽しかっただったりだとか、もっとこうだったらよかったなみたいな、声を糧にしてですね、チーム全体がモチベーションを上げて、制作や改善に取り組むことができました。
Of course, it wasn't just about technical confirmation. It was also great to just see everyone's feedback, hearing all the players say how fun it was to play the game. Mm-hmm. And of course, your wishes and requests for things that you weren't enjoying quite as much about it. It was all such valuable feedback, and it's been great motivation for us to just finish the full game and make it even better. So thank you again for that.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic opportunity for everyone, and for us to get some great learnings and observations too. And obviously, we've mentioned the open beta and what you thought about that. What were your thoughts, Tokura-san, on the recently published previews and interviews we'd seen from press from around the globe?
はい、先日メディアのプレビューも公開されていると思うんですけど、徳田さんは確認されてますか？いかがでしたでしょうか？
はい、まず世界中からですね、初心者からもベテランさんまで、すごく幅広い層の、ライターさんが、大阪に来てくださって、OBT からの改善点はもちろんですけど、ゲーム作品としてそもそもどうなのかだったりだとか、部分についてですね、とても楽しんで、ポジティブなレビューをたくさんくださったので、まずとても嬉しかったです。
Yeah, that was a really great experience. We had journalists from all over the world come and join us in Osaka, and it was a real range of people in terms of Monster Hunter play experience. Some of them were veteran hunters like yourselves, some of them were more on the beginner side, and getting to see their positive preview impressions was really exciting for me, because not just in terms of getting the news out there about improvements that have been made since the open beta test in the version they played, but their take on the game as a whole. That was something that was really fun for me to see, basically because it was very positive.
もうこれだけできてるんだったらもう大阪から帰りたくないみたいなことを言うメディアの方もいらっしゃいました。興味ある方はぜひ記事とか動画とかもチェックしてみてください。
Patrick killing
Some
it.
of them were having so much fun, and they said the game felt so finished already. They just didn't want to leave Osaka. They wanted to stay there and keep playing it for a long time. But unfortunately, we had to release them from the office. But yeah, if anyone hasn't checked out those preview impressions already, I'd encourage you to take a look, because they were really great to see.
はい、ではそれではここからはジョーとジョノから、説明があった通り、製品版で調整される内容と、OBT から変更される内容について、ユーザーの皆様にお知らせしたいと思います。
So yeah, as you guys, Joe and Jono both mentioned earlier, today is a chance for me to talk directly to the community about some adjustments that me and the team are making to the game based on all the valuable feedback we got from you players about the open beta test.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. I think we have a lot to cover today. So let's start with our first topic. Our first topic is performance. So during the open beta test, which was actually running on an earlier version of the game that's different from the internal version that the team is working on, we actually mentioned that the final release will have improved performance over the open beta test. So Takuda-san, could you walk us through how the team is improving performance with the full version?
はい、最初に製品版で目標にしているパフォーマンスについて教えてもらえると思いますので、
That's the big one, bro.
はい、まず
My 3060 can't take it.
いただくのが一番わかりやすいと思いますので、
My 3060 can't take it, bro. Please.
プレイステーション5でフレームレート優先モードでのプレイ映像をお持ちしたので、ご覧ください。
Yeah, we've got some slides with some details coming up, but I think first of all, I really want you guys to just get your eyes on a gameplay video to understand where the performance is at. So I've prepared a video that's running on PlayStation 5 in prioritized performance mode. It's not the final version of the game, but it's a more up-to-date version than the one you would have played in the OBT. So let's take a look at that now.
It's like the FPS is a lot better. A lot better.
はい、このように、OBT の時よりも綺麗なグラフィックで、60フレーム近くでプレイできる状態になっています。
Yeah, hopefully that gave you an impression of how much better the game is looking already since the OBT. It's running at almost the target of 60 frames per second.
Let's see what that PC version look like, though.
改めまして目標としているスペックですけれども、PS5 の解像度優先モードでは、4K30fps で安定してプレイできることをターゲットにしています。
So as per the slide we have here, just to talk you through the target numbers that we have. On the PlayStation 5 in the prioritized graphics mode, we're running a rendered output of 4K with a targeted frame rate of 30 frames a second.
フレームレート優先モードではレンダリング解像度は異なりますが、60fps で、遊べるようにターゲットしています。
And for prioritized frame rate, that brings the rendering resolution down as you can see, but then the target frame rate gets to 60 frames a second.
OBT では目標のフレームレートに出ていなかった上にですね、フレームレート優先モードでは描画の不具合がありまして、髪の毛とか、羽毛のような表示の時に、ジャギーのようなものが発生するようになってまして、ちょっと綺麗じゃない状態になっておりました。先ほどご覧いただきましたように製品版の方ではフレームレート含めて改善していますので、ご安心ください。
So the target frame rate that we have here was not being achieved in the OBT build. To be honest, it was an earlier version that wasn't quite as optimized. And there were also some rendering issues with the graphics when using frame priority mode, the prioritized frame rate. A lot of players recorded seeing jagged edges on elements such as hair and feathers, the more fine details. As you will have hopefully got an impression of in the video we just showed, this has been greatly improved in the full version, and the frame rate is also hitting close to that target of 60 frames a second.
Thank God, bro. Jesus.
はい、あとプレイステーション5 Pro エンハンスト対応については、製品版発売時の Day1 パッチにて、対応を予定しています。プレイステーション5 Pro でのゲームプレイは、グラフィック表現がより強化、を予定しておりまして、詳細については今後の情報をお待ちください。
Also, just one thing to confirm is that PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced support is incoming, and it'll be ready with the day one patch on release day of the title next year. Okay. That's going to enhance the graphics for PlayStation 5 Pro users, so please stay tuned for more details on that as we get closer to launch.
Yeah, talk to me about Steam.
Xbox シリーズ X と、シリーズ S につきましても、PlayStation 5版と同様な、パフォーマンス向上に取り組んでいます。
Moving on then to Xbox, you can see here that on the Xbox Series X and Series S, we're aiming at similar improvements over the OBT compared to what I just described for the
Damn,
PlayStation
rip
5 as per
Xbox.
the slide.
30
近
FPS.
版でもご利用の環境
Blood
設定
surge,
によ
bro.
って
Sorry.
変動はありますけれども、パフォーマンスの向上について、同様に取り組んでおりまして、OBT と同じスペックの機材であっても着実にフレームレートなど、向上しています。
Steam is of course a bit more complicated. It varies greatly depending on your own personal rig, your hardware, and the settings you have set up. But we are working on improving the performance of that too. And the frame rate and other performance you can expect from the same equipment you might have used in the OBT will be improved for the full version of the game. So please wait a little longer to get a chance to experience that.
Damn.
あとこれは本当におとつい聞いた最新の情報なんですけれども、
Facts,
推奨
Chief.
スペックとしてご案内している
Yeah,
グ
I'm
ラ
gonna
フィ
have
ッ
to
クボード
upgrade,
に
bro.
つい
I'm
て
gonna have
も
to.
もう少し下げられる可能性が出てきております。正確な情報が固まり次第公式サイトなどでアナウンスさせていただきます。
This is actually something that I've literally just confirmed with the team yesterday or the day before, so it's very hot off the press news, but we're looking at hopefully lowering the level of the minimum recommended graphics board
Oh,
specs
God, thank
to
you.
allow more players with that level of hardware to play the game. The final details are still being worked on, so I can't share more today, but again, stay tuned to our official channels on our website, and we'll hopefully get more details about that out soon.
That is really, really cool. You know, I mean, Joe and I can both attest that following the OBT, performance was an important topic for the community across all platforms. So it's really, really cool to be able to share the performance and visual improvements for all versions and platforms of the game across the board. So thank you for that, Good-san. One little question though, because we did see some members of the community, particularly on PC, concerned whether or not they had a powerful enough hardware or rig to run the game on PC. Especially seeing, you know, out there's such a wide range of hardware
Sam, please
amongst
help
the
me.
gaming community. So is there anything the team are thinking of or looking at doing to help players on PC determine if their rig will run on something well?
チームユーザーはそれぞれのプレイヤーがさまざまな環境で遊んでいると思いますけれども、発売前に自分の環境で、期待できるパフォーマンスを確認したいユーザーがたくさんいると思うんですけど、何かしら対策を考えたりしますでしょうか？
はい、さまざまな改善とか最適化が進んでいる中でですね、その製品版の環境でご自身の機材がどのように機能するかというのは、発売前に知りたいというのは、非常によく、分かっております。現在そうした方に向けてベンチマークとご用意できないか、検討しています。できるできないや時期など決定しましたらまたお知らせいたします。
Yeah, I totally understand the PC players on Steam really want to know before launch if their rig is going to be giving them the performance that they want. While we are, as I said, working to improve the performance greatly before launch, we're considering as well releasing a benchmark tool for Steam players.
Yeah, appreciate that,
let
Jack.
you more directly check how your PC hardware is going to run the game. So that's something that's still in the works at the minute, and if that becomes finalized, again, we'll release further details on that in due course, so stay tuned.
All right, yeah, so we'll await any further details on a potential benchmark tool, and overall those were some really great updates on performance, but let's go ahead and transition to some of the gameplay specific adjustments to either weapon actions and the overall hunting experience. And I think both Jono and I know that one of the biggest topics and concerns from the community were changes to hit stop and the overall impact of weapons. And this was really something that we saw quite a bit of feedback on, looking for a little bit more punch to the different weapons. In our recent round of previews, we actually did confirm that there were some improvements made to this area. So Takuda-san, can you detail what these tweaks are?
はい、パフォーマンスに続けて武器の調整についてですけれども、多くのユーザーから、もう少しパンチが欲しい、手応えを感じたいっていうフィードバックが寄せられていると思うんですけど、これに対してチームの方で予定している調整などについて教えてもらえますでしょうか？
はい、オープンベータテストでは、いわゆるヒットストップや、サウンドエフェクトが過去作に比べて弱いというご意見いただいております。これらについて OBT では一部対応が漏れていたものもあったんですけど、製品版では、多くの武器種で特に大技とか決め技を中心に、攻撃の手応えをより感じていただけるような調整をしております。
Mitigation. Okay.
Yeah, this is, what people refer to as hit stop.
Reading is hard.
Something that we were aware of with the OBT build.
Hashtag
there were certain things we were already
again.
taken care of, actually, and certain things that hadn't yet been done. So when it comes to making those weapons feel more weighty and impactful in terms of hit stop and sound effects, we are planning to make further adjustments in the full version of the game in that area.
一つの例として、調整後の体験の新ため切りの動画をお持ちしましたのでご覧ください。
I've got a video here that we can show in a second, which shows you the true charged slash of the greatsword, and that's how it looks after these adjustments have been made to make these big moves and finishers feel more meaty. So let's show the video, please, and see how that looks.
Going down top of the linear, the hit stop, yeah. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. The hit stop already looks like a lot better. When I saw it in the gameplay that I reviewed earlier.
実は新ため切りダメージ量の方も、増やしてます。ダメージ量限らずですけど、このヒットエフェクトだったりだとか、ヒットストップについてももろもろ調整を行っていますし、サウンドですね、音についても調整してますので、トータルでヒット感は、向上しています。
So that move that we just saw, the true charge slash, has also actually had its damage output increased. But even for moves where I haven't changed the damage output, I've heard you guys on things like hit stop, on sound effects, how the moves feel to actually use. So those kind of adjustments are being made, not just on the greatsword. I use it as an example here because it's kind of easy to understand, but across the board on all weapon types.
Is it foam anymore? I know.
はい、ヒットストップに関してはですね、モンスターハンターワールドをリリースした当初には、海外のユーザーを中心に、ヒットストップが強すぎるとか、重すぎるみたいなご意見をすごくいただいたんですけれども、今回モンスターハンターワイルズのオープンベータですと逆に弱いというご意見もたくさんいただきまして、モンスターハンターの持ち味であるこの、重みのあるアクションという感覚が世界中の方に受け入れられ始めているんだなということも感じまして、感慨深くもありました。
It was really interesting actually for me to receive this feedback on the beta. I'm thinking back to Monster Hunter World, which I also worked on, and back then there was a lot of player feedback, especially outside Japan, where players felt that the game was actually too weighty, that the animations were too slow, and that's completely the opposite of what we heard this time, where people were saying the Wilds OBT, everything felt a bit too light and floaty and weaker. So I'm taking that as a positive, where I feel like in the years between Monster Hunter World coming out and Monster Hunter Wilds OBT, players around the world have gotten used to that meaty, weighty hit stop action that is kind of one of the hallmarks of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So knowing that they've accepted that and they wanted it back based on the OBT is actually something that I think is really interesting, and also it's really nice for me to hear.
No, that's really, really cool. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing those meaty chops and big bonks come February. And obviously, you know, we've spoken about how weapon interactions with monsters have been adjusted, but we're also looking at friendly fire and how that works, right? I understand that this was actually something as well that the team were looking into and considering before the open beta test went live.
はい、フレンドリーファイアの機能について確かにオープンベータテスト、配信前からも検討されていたと聞いてるんですけど、こちらは OBT を受けてどのような調整を予定しているのでしょうか。
はい、ゲームズコーンや TGS の、私有ロムでは、ガラランスの流撃砲などによって、仲間が吹っ飛ばされる、いわゆるフレンドリーファイアがありましたけれども、OBT のタイミングでは多くの武器でそれらを緩和しました。
Yeah, this is something that, as you said, before even the OBT came out, we had our first playable globally at Gamescom earlier in the year, then we had Tokyo Game Show. And the adjustments that we started to make for friendly fire were already present in those builds. So, for example, the Wyvern fire of the gun lance is something that we'd already toned down the effect. even before the OBT started.
OBT の時点でもハンマーの勝ち上げなど一部こうフレンドリーファイアが残ってしまったものもあったんですけど、それらも製品版の方では、修正予定となります。
That said, as a lot of players will have noticed in the OBT, there were some friendly fire things that we hadn't handled yet. So upswing attacks on the hammer in particular, I think were causing a lot of people to be thrown around the place. And that's something that we're looking to get into a better place and fix it up for the final game.
サンブレイクの方で実装されました、ダメージリアクションを動かするこの干渉樹、といった装飾品も実装予定です。
And just to mention as well, something that wouldn't have applied during the OBT, but the shockproof jewel, which you might remember from recently Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, is going to be in the full game, and that will further help you nullify those damage reactions.
Yeah.
の調整後のハンマーの勝ち上げの動画も持ってきましたので、ご覧ください。
I've got another video with me today, so if we can please show that, then you should get an idea of how the hammer upswing looks after these adjustments have been made. So let's take a look.
Bro, that's part of the experience, though. Getting swung around. Oh, okay. I'm actually okay with that. That's actually kind of cool. I still like the getting launched in the air, but that's not bad. Getting kind of like knife back, little check. You know what I mean? What y'all think?
The example is really great at kind of showing side by side.
We'll talk about it.
The changes that have been made there. So, I think, with Friendly Fire, this is one of those changes where, there's a lot of different players a lot of different types of players that it may impact. So, Takuda-san, can you talk a little bit more about the intention behind making this change?
フレンドリーファイアですとプレイヤーの意見も分かれる仕様だと思うんですけど、徳田さんの今回変更を入れた意図についてもう少し詳しく教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、フレンドリーファイアの軽減は残念なに思っている方もいるトピックだと、こちらも認識しています。今回ですね、ガンランスの流撃砲の範囲を結構思い切って広げたんですけど、この範囲で、ぶっ飛ばしを残してしまうと、マルチプレイですごく大きな、支障になってしまいます。
Yeah, I know what you mean because friendly fire is one of those features I think some players enjoy, the bit of the chaos, and they might find it disappointing to hear that it's being reduced, but it's all part of my overall balancing sort of approach. So to take the Gunlance Wyvern Fire as an example, the range of that attack has actually been greatly expanded with Monster Hunter Wilds, and that meant that just the sheer range at which friendly fire could occur was kind of becoming something of a hindrance to having an effective multiplayer hunt.
こういう行動はルールを理解しているプレイヤー同士なら楽しく感じていただける要素にもなり得るんですけれども、クロスプレイだったり、救難信号によって、幅広いユーザーの方がマルチプレイする機会というのがすごく増えている中で、初心者のユーザーの方がルールがわからないままぶっ飛ばしてしまったりだとか、特にそういう要素があることによってマルチプレイを避けてしまうようなことを、避けたいと考えて、今回こうした実装をしております。
I think that kind of scrappy, chaotic feel that you get from friendly fire is something that players who understand it and they know how to avoid it or when it's going to happen, those people can have an understanding with each other and enjoy that. But we've now got crossplay and we've got a wider range than ever.
That's fair.
Experience levels of hunters joining the game, and I wanted to avoid a scenario where this level of extra range attacks causing friendly fire would mean that maybe less experienced players would end up knocking everyone around beyond the point where it's still fun, or they might get knocked around and not understand why it's happening and not find that enjoyable, and then they'd end up avoiding going online and playing multiplayer with other players. So it's really part of my intention to make sure that everyone can enjoy multiplayer together, and that meant making the decision on how to adjust friendly fire.
That's smart.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's making it more approachable for new players and less frustrating for experienced players who are playing alongside these new players joining the community. And kind of moving on from that as well, something that actually Joe and I encountered ourselves and what we saw within the community and content creators was that during the open beta test, they felt that monsters move locations way more often than they expected. Was this intentional?
Hell smart.
Imagine
game devs that listen to the community and offer explanation for why they do shit. Imagine.
仕様になってたと思うんですけど、コミュニティのフィードバックもたくさんある仕様だったと思いますので、こちらについてはどれだけ意図的なものだったでしょうか。
はい、OBT ではですね、そのプログラム的な不具合とですね、調整不足の両方が重なりまして、モンスターのエリア移動が、頻繁に発生していました。
Yeah, the actual truth is that there was a bit of a bug or glitch in the open beta test build, which meant that monsters were moving between areas more frequently than we intended. So the behavior you guys noticed in the open beta test build isn't something that was finally fully adjusted to where we wanted it to be.
Thank God.
製品版では、モンスターハンターワールドに近いような移動頻度になるように調整を入れています。
So yeah, we've worked on that since the open beta test build was created, and the final version should be more close in feeling to Monster Hunter World in terms of how often you feel the monsters are moving around.
Them dudes was on the move.
So even though that the amount of frequency that a monster might move locations has been toned down a little bit, sometimes a monster moving locations significantly it's kind of like a way of expressing its personality. So are there still some situations where a monster might move significantly?
これでも製品版ではエリア間の移動をする場合があると理解していいんですね。
もちろんモンスターがフィールドの中でどんどんこう移動していって、それを追い詰めていってハンティングするというのはモンスターハンターの、醍醐味の一つでもありますので、モンスターは移動していきます。
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the sort of key features of Monster Hunter is that you're chasing these monsters around these vast environments. So it's not like they're never going to move anywhere and you're just going to be stuck in one place to hunt them. You're still going to have that feeling of the chase where they move between different parts of the field as the hunt progresses.
またですね、特に生態系の上位に属するようなモンスター、すごく強いモンスターはですね、ベースキャンプから離れた場所、フィールドの奥深くに巣を構えていることが多くあります。今回はフィールドが、広大になっているということもありまして、いろんな緩和処理は入れてるんですけれども、それでも品種移動などの際に、大きく移動するということがあります。
Also, the maps are much bigger in this game than any previous Monster Hunter, and that means there's more turf to cover. And when it comes to things like the monsters who are at the top of the food chain in a particular map, their nests or their home turf within the map can be pretty deep into the area, and it can be some distance to cover. So if you get them to a weakened state and they're doing the thing where they limp back to their nest to try and recover, that's still going to be an occasion where you're going to have some ground to cover in order to chase them and find them again.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
そうした場合はですね、
it's Monster
借りたいモン
tradition
ス
for
ター
that.
の生息域だったり移動ルートに合わせた場所に簡易キャンプを立てて、ファストトラベルなどを使って先回りするような、使い方というのもすごく有効になります。
I would recommend when that happens in the full game that you can actually use the pop-up camp feature to its fullest. So if you're aware of where a particular monster's nest is going to be in the map, and if it's quite a distance from other areas, you can go ahead and sort of do a recce and scout it out and put a pop-up camp there in advance, so that when that monster starts to get weakened and try to return to its nest, you can fast travel to the pop-up camp and get there quickly.
So a little bit of planning, a little bit of prep, and it will pay off in the hunt, which is always handy. And, moving on, we've already covered a lot of juicy changes. We've been getting stuck straight in. So let's kind of move over to adjustments to something that's really important and helps really define a hunter's identity in game, and that we're all very passionate about: our weapons. So we know many people are really interested in this. Takuda-san, in our recent previews, the team showed off some changes to the insect glaive. But that's not the only weapon. Multiple weapons have received adjustments, but a few in particular, like the aforementioned insect glaive, have received the most attention, right?
武器の調整についてですけれども、プレビューのインタビューなどで徳田さんは特に総中根などの武器がかなり OBT に比べて大きく調整が入っているというふうにコメントをいただいていると思うんですけど、こちらについてもう少し詳細に教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい、特に総中根、ランス、スラッシュアックス、片手剣については、製品版とかなり違いを感じられるような、武器種になっています。それらを中心に調整内容をご紹介できればと思います。
Yeah, the insect glaive is one of several weapons, such as the lance, the switch axe, and the sword and shield, which I think players will, if you've played the OBT version and then you play the full game, you're going to notice maybe the biggest differences and feel like we've made the most adjustments to those weapons in particular, although we have made adjustments to all the weapons. So I'd like to take a chance to go through a few of those details with you.
Pray for me, bro.
はい、装置庫については、まずは動画を見ていただければと思います。
So if we can run the video we've prepared of the insect glaive, let's take a look at that first.
Oh, let's go. Yes, bounce back. Yup. Oh my God! That hit stop with the insect glaive. Oh my
はい、
God!
このようにまず武闘跳躍が、追加されております。
That's right. Vaulting dance is back.
装置庫についてはゲーム使いや TGS の使用の段階で、特にこの装置庫使いの方々から、アイデンティティとも言えるような、武闘跳躍を、ないことについてですね、非常に残念がる声というのをたくさんいただいてましたので、OBT では間に合わなかったんですけども、製品版の方では、武闘跳躍追加しております。
So this is something I was actually aware of even before the feedback from the open beta test back at our Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show exhibitions of gameplay. We had our, insect glaive users, our bug rod mains, complaining that the vaulting dance was missing, and it's one of the iconic moves of that particular weapon. So yeah, I'm happy to confirm that vaulting dance makes its return in the full version of Monster Hunter Wilds.
またですね、吸収切りの出始めのところに、相殺効果がついていたりだとか、エキスを取った時の、効果などが OBT から、追加で対応を行っていまして、これらによって、立ち回りの幅がすごく広がっています。
As you can see on the slide, we've got a few other adjustments being made. One of them is that the descending slash now has an offset effect added at the beginning of that move.
Oh my God.
And we also have additional effects happening with the different extracts that you have during the course of the action. So those are going to improve the feel of the insect glaive too.
はい。その吸収切りのための部分の、操作っていうのが、押しづらいというご意見も、すごく多くいただいておりました。
One thing I wanted to cover additionally was that some players said that the controls for charging up the descending thrust were a little bit too difficult, or they felt tricky to operate in the heat of the hunt.
僕自身も押しづらいなと感じる部分もありましたので、何かできないか検討や相談っていうのを進めていたんですけれども、慣れてくるとですね、この貯めることによる遊びの広がりっていうのも確かにあるなというふうにも感じていることから、あとそれを回収するコストとももろもろ天秤にかけていった結果、今回はその試操作に関しては残すことに、しました。
I took that feedback on board, and I tried it out in the game myself. And I did somewhat agree that it could be tricky to pull that off right in the middle of things, but we always have to weigh up when we're going to make these kind of modifications to a weapon what the implications are for its playstyle as a whole.
Yeah.
We have to balance the idea of changing that with, how it might play the way it is. So after many discussions with the team, I actually decided to keep this one the way it is. I think that it is one of the trickier things to pull off, but it's sort of a bit of a rewarding bit of depth to the gameplay of the insect glaive. If you can get used to that and learn when to use the charge, it can really deepen your play style. So that's something that we're not adjusting this time, although we did hear your voices
Skill ceiling, baby. Gotta have skill.
ですね、メディアプレビューツアーに、来られた、操縦コンピューターのライターの方をですね、触っていただいて、最高の操縦コンになってるじゃないかってすごく喜んで、くれましたので、ぜひ製品版の方をお待ちいただければと思います。
Yeah, we have become glaive mains.
One journalist who was in Osaka for our preview last month, and they're an insect glaive main user, and they said that this is the best insect glaive ever in Monster Hunter history. So you can take that on board and look forward to the full version of the weapon in the final version of the game.
Yeah, amazing. It's so great seeing Vaulting Dance back. I know that it's been very, very highly requested from the community. And I think there's a lot of people out there, including myself and members of the community, who doubted that it was something that could even be added back into the game. So it's so great to see it back and to see it in action. So moving on from the Insight Glaive, I know there's other weapons we want to touch on. We mentioned in the previews that the lance would be seeing some significant changes. So can you take us through those?
先にプレビューの段階で確かにランスも大きく大幅に調整を入れる予定になっているというふうに徳田さんがコメントしてたと思うんですけど、その詳細について教えてもらえますでしょうか。
はい。ランスは、多様なガードと、細やかな移動を駆使していて、過去シリーズよりもモンスターに張り付いていける選択肢を増やしたかったんですけれども、逆にそのモンスターの行動を見て待つ選択肢っていうのがなくなった結果、かえって行動の選択肢が狭まって、同じ行動を繰り返してしまうような、ちょっと単調なプレーにつながってしまう部分っていうのがありました。
Yeah, the lance was something where the effects of the adjustments we made were somewhat on the unintentional side. So I wanted to add a variety of different options for guarding and more fine footwork movement options. And the idea was to increase the tool set of things the players had available when they're using the lance. But I think that the unintentional effect of that was that players weren't able to do the classic lance move of being able to wait it out and see what the monster is going to do next and then respond to that in kind. And I think that we ultimately ended up, unfortunately, narrowing the options available, and some players even went so far as to say that the lance action felt monotonous because ultimately with the tools available, they still ended up repeating the same actions over and over again.
大きな変更点としましては、過去作のカウンター武器を、ガード中のためカウンターとして、復活させました。
So in response to that, one thing that I've done is take the counter thrust move, which was a move that was available in past games with the lance. I sort of resurrected that in a new form as what we're now calling the charge counter. And that's something that you can use while guarding as well.
これによってカウンターで待つ、選択肢を作りつつ、さらに大きなモンスターの攻撃に対しては、ガードからパワーガードの方に派生していって、受けた攻撃によってため段階が変わる、新アクションっていうのも、足していってますので、そうしたものも含めた反撃の選択肢というのを取れるように、しています。
So the addition of this move, as well as the other adjustments that we've made, some of which you can see here, which includes a new move that can be chained into from both Perfect Guard and Power Guard, means I think Lance players will appreciate the ability to read the monster's movements, and you can choose your counter-attack style, and you can even do a Power Guard that will now charge even more quickly or to higher levels if you successfully defend against more powerful monster attacks. So that sort of wait, read, and counter style of the Lance, I think is going to be getting much better than you might have experienced in the open beta.
その他混乱だったり暴発が起こりやすいような発生をなくしたりだとか、連携中に発生するガードダッシュのキャンセルのタイミングを早くするなど、過去作でできたことっていうのは、なるべくフォローしながらやれることの幅っていうのを広げる調整をしています。僕はもちろんランス使いの藤岡さんも、結構、じっくり触っていまして、かなり感触良くなってきています。
There's also another variety of adjustments that we've made to the Lance in conjunction with Mr. Fujioka, the executive director and art director, who, as you guys know, is a Lance main, so he takes the Lance very seriously. And I worked together with him on these. So I wanted to expand the range of what you can do based on past titles. That has included actually removing some moves that you tended to chain into only on accident, and it would kind of cause confusion and mess up your combos. So I've sort of refined the moveset a little bit in those ways, while at the same time speeding up the cancellation timing of guard dashes that are chained into during combos. So I think that these changes, if you trust me and Mr. Fujioka, are going to make the lads feel better than ever.
はい、動画の方もお持ちしたので、ご覧ください。
I've got a video for this too, so if we can run that, then you can see what I'm talking about.
Lance about to be busted. Okay. Ooh.
And there we have it. Lance getting straight to the point, as always. So hopefully our Lance mains out there, that has put a smile on your face. And for those of you that have never tried the weapon before, hopefully that's, sparked a bit of interest for you to go check it out come February. But now to move on
Chief,
from the lance,
you and me
let's
both,
talk
bro.
about the Switch Axe, which apparently has been made much stronger than it was.
Oh
in
my
the
God, here we
open
go,
beta
Switch
test.
Axe.
Takura-san, can you tell us a bit more about that, please?
次にランツから移して
Hey, Chief, you and me both, bro. We're gonna be in a doghouse with Monster Hunter Wild, so we chilling. Look, that's
はい、スラッシュアックに関しては、そのオノモードでゲージを貯めて、剣モードで放出していくような基本的なサイクル自体は変えていませんが、オノモードでのちょっとためにくさみたいなものは多少緩和しつつ、剣モードでの攻撃をゲージ消費に見合ったような威力とか手応えに調整を行っています。
Yeah, so with the Switch Axe, of course, the basic loop of charging up the axe mode and then releasing in the sword mode is the same. That's kind of what people expect from the weapon, but I understand from feedback that some players thought it was too difficult to get the axe mode charged up, and that was something that I wanted to alleviate, so that difficulty has been adjusted. At the same time, the sword mode has been adjusted to be this feeling more powerful and more responsive to match that gauge consumption.
okay.
特にフルリリーススラッシュは、手応えも
Let's see if they get it
威力も、
right.
最終派生型に見合った性能に、向上させています。
One move in particular that should be feeling a lot better now is the full release slash. It's been improved both in terms of its power output and its feeling, and it just feels like a much more appropriate finisher move in terms of how great it feels to pull off.
またカウンター切りの使い勝手を上げたりだとか、集中弱点攻撃の後隙を短くするなど、使いづらかった行動を少しずつ調整していって、全体的なそういうさというのを向上させてい
This
ま
is
す。
There were also some moves that the feedback from the player base was that they were a little bit too difficult to use. So using the counter rising slash in sword mode is something that's been made more usable, and I've also looked to shorten the animation lock period after using a focus strike with this weapon, so hopefully those things make it feel more usable.
はい、こちらも動画をご覧くださ
Bro,
い。
it's like all eyes is on this moment right
video for
now.
this one too, so
Swag at
let's take a
users
look.
are like deciding whether or not. Here it goes. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, the changes to Switch Axe are looking really great. As somebody who really likes the new moveset in Monster Hunter Wilds, these tweaks just take it to the next level. So I'm really excited about that, and maybe I'll switch to the Switch Axe. Sorry.
That didn't seem too bad, bro. That didn't seem too bad
Next
to me,
up, we've
but of
got
course I
Sword
gotta
and
get hands
Shield,
on and see
Jono.
how it
I know
feels.
this is very near and dear to your heart. As your main, Tokuda-san, can you take us through all of the tweaks here?
はい、次にご存知のようにジョノがメインに使っている武器でもある片手剣ですけど、こちらの調整についてはいかがでしょうか。
はい、まずですね、過去作とちょっとボタンは違うんですけれども、ガード中に切り上げですね、のアクションを復活させました。
Yeah, so for the
Okay,
Sword and Shield,
Dang,
one
Sword and Shield
thing
got
we heard your
lots of
voice very
changes.
clearly on was that the loss of the ability to use Rising Slash while guarding was being majorly felt. So that's back, and now you can now perform that move while guarding again.
また通常攻撃だったり、ジャストラッシュといった、各種攻撃の威力を、
Yeah,
上げていったりだ
I
と
can see what you're
か、
saying, especially evade
各
more.
種行動のレスポンスの方も、向
I don't know,
上
bro.
させて、
But
さら
I
に
still
バッ
think
ク
you
ステ
gotta
ッ
like
プ
get
滑り
hands
込み
on.
の
You
回
know what I
復性
mean?
能を強化するなど、全体的なこの威力と、レスポンス手触りを向
Granted,
上
I'm not a
をさ
swag
せ
axe
ています。
main in the least.
And there's also various improvements, as you can see on the next couple of points here, being made to the weapon's sort of feel and also attack output. So normal attacks and the perfect rush have had their parameters improved. The responsiveness of your sort of more bread and butter mobile combos like the chop and side slash combo have been improved, and same goes for guard slash and perfect rush. And then finally the backstep and the sliding swipe have had their effectiveness when it comes to evasion improved as well. So lots of changes all across the board for Sword and Shield.
こちらも動画をご覧ください。
Yep, you guessed it, another video for this weapon, so let's run it and see how it looks.
You guessed it. use, right? Dang. It definitely feels meatier.
Oh my goodness. To my fellow Sword and Shield enjoyers, we are truly eating good in Wilds. Those changes look
Bruh, it
delicious.
seemed a whole lot
What can I say?
beefier.
And for
I ain't
those
gonna
that
lie.
haven't tried Sword and Shield yet,
Like
here's a
he
really
was
good
slapped-
excuse
got the- shot the
to give
camera.
it a go. But enough of me gushing about the Sword and Shield, because I could do that for the next hour. There are other weapons too that have had some adjustments, maybe not as extensive as the 4 we've shown so far, but many have received tweaks. So, Tokuda-san, could you please take us through these at a
Don't
broader
kill
level?
my longsword, please.
こちらの4つの武器ほど、大規模な変更ではないかもしれないんですけれども、全体的な武器
I'm
の
pretty
調
sure
整
they're
に
gonna
つ
stop the
いて
hit stop
教
though.
えても
They
らえま
stop
すで
the
しょうか。
hyper armor on longsword.
はい、先ほどの4つの武器も含めてになるんですが、まずその属性値だったりとか、スキルの効果も踏まえたエンドコンテナを見越した数値調整というのを、全武器種、広く、行っています。その過程で、意図したバランスになっていないものだったりとか、意図しない武器格差みたいなものが、生まれていた部分については調整を予定しています。
Bo got nerfed. Dang
Yeah,
it,
I just said
Kudo.
all the weapons are receiving general wide-ranging adjustments to everything from their skills, their elemental values. I don't want there to be unintentional weapon tiering happening. I want to balance the weapon lineup so that everything has a valid place and everything is a viable choice.
Thank
Not
you.
just for playing the full game when it comes out, but going through to completing the game
Facts.
and then moving on to the end game content. I know that these balance adjustments need to stand up for many hours of gameplay from you guys, and that's the intention with this overall balancing approach I have.
基本的には、各武器種が持つコンセプトとか触り心地が実現できているかっていうのを重要視した調整を行っていまして、強いものを下げるというよりはどちらかというと
Bro,
低いものを上げ
once
て
the
いきな
deck
がら
will come out,
武
Bo
器
ain't
主
gonna
間
feel
の格差もできるだけなく
nothing.
していくような方向性で
That nerf is gonna be a
調整
fly
し
on
て
the
いま
wall.
す。
Swatted.
My general concept is that I want each weapon to feel true to its own unique concept, because each of them has a place in the lineup of 14 weapons. In order to do that, I don't want to lower the high values to make everything meet in the middle. I actually want to raise up the lower values to make the weapons that were feeling less powerful
More
feel
power.
viable
Thank
and
you.
Going toe to toe.
Perfect philosophy.
The other weapons in the lineup. So that's kind of my approach.
Yeah.
はい、その、主だった例として弓を挙げますけれども、弓はシルベの矢と、刺してそこに対して矢が飛んでいく、機能なんですけど、それと集中弱点攻撃の方にダメージのソースが、かなり偏っていたんですけれども、その部分も、通常攻撃だったりだとか局射のようなものの威力を上げつつ、さらにそれらの行動のつながりだったりレスポンスとかを向上させて、その他の行動でもしっかりダメージを取れるような、調整を行っています。
As on the slide here, the bow is a good example of this kind of general adjustment. I think that in the version that you guys would have played in the beta, the damage output was getting pretty biased towards using the tracer shots combined with the focus strike attacks. And this is something that I wanted to adjust. So again, as I said, rather than bringing those down, what I've done is bring up the normal shots and the arc shot power, make those attacks more viable, and at the same time, general responsiveness has been improved across the board for the bow, including transitions and chaining between different attacks. So that makes it feel like a more cohesive, true to the bow concept type weapon.
Okay, so it didn't get nerfed. They just
また
buffed
集中弱
everything
点攻
else.
撃で、複数の傷だったりシルベの矢をまとめてロックオンして破壊することができたんですけども、傷については一つ一つロックオンする形に変更を行っています。
One more thing to mention is that as of the beta, the focus strike targeting capability was locking onto multiple wounds more or less simultaneously at the same time. And I've rebalanced this now so that whenever you try to lock on to multiple wounds, they'll lock on one at a time with a brief delay in between each one. So that's another balance adjustment that's been made here.
はい、夢についても動画を用意しましたので、ご覧ください。
And you can see that and more in this video. Let's run it.
All right, let's go. See what the bow looking like. Here we go, bow game. Yep. Oh, it's already looking meaty. It seemed like it's taking longer to lock on. Did y'all
このよう
notice
にです
that?
ね、単なる下方修正にならないように、武器の魅力だったりユーザーの選択
It's
肢の
going
幅
one
が
by
広が
one
るよ
on
う
the
に
little
ことを意識
focus
しな
thing.
がら、全ての武器の調整を行っています。
Yeah, hopefully when you watch that, you get a sense of what I meant, which was I don't want to just bring the powerful aspects of weapons or the more powerful weapons down to the same level. I want to make adjustments to each weapon to
All right,
make
Kudo.
every single weapon feel like a viable choice in the lineup of weapons in Monster Hunter, and that players have lots to choose from and everything has its place.
Yeah, I really love that philosophy behind all the balancing changes and the
Yeah.
improvements. And I know one weapon that I think we would be remiss if we didn't bring up, and a lot of people are really passionate about, is the hunting horn. Could you talk about some of the changes that the hunting horn is receiving?
狩猟部は特に多くのユーザーからフィードバックがあった武器だと思うんですけど、こちらの最終的な仕様
Yeah,
変
full
更な
game
どはいか
definitely
が
gonna
でしょう
improve
か
it.。
そうですね、狩猟笛の基本的な、メカニクスというか、そういうものについては、ユーザーさんも僕も含めて、結構気に入って、います。なんですけれども、サブ武器としての性能というのがちょっと、強すぎる面がありましたので、そのあたりは手を加えようと思っています。
Hunting Horn is a weapon that I myself really enjoy playing, and I think we've heard from lots of players that they find it really fun.
Yeah.
It's a very viable main weapon. So actually the adjustments that I want to make for Monster Hunter Wilds based on the beta were about how it felt a bit too strong as a sub-weapon.
OBT ではですね、攻撃力アップ小の戦慄効果までしかなかったので、そこまで問題にならなかったんですけれども、製品版の方では攻撃力アップ大の戦慄効果があったりだとか、あとそれらの効果の時間を長くするスキルなどもありましたので、サブ武器としてかなりちょっと強い面が、ありました。
It wasn't too bad in the OBT because being a limited slice of the gameplay, the melodies that were available for the Hunting Horn only actually went up to Attack Up S. But when you take that into the full game and you're going all the way up to Attack Up L, it just meant that the melody effects were too overpowered. And it
Yes,
just
thank
became
God.
too much of an obvious meta choice to have the Hunting Horn as a backup weapon because of how powerful the parameters were whenever you were buffing not just yourself and your whole party.
でですね、自分強化の戦慄効果のパラメーターというのを速度のアップも含めて底上げしつつ、他の、プレイヤーへの、戦慄効果のパラメーターだったりだとか、狩猟笛から他の武器種に変更したときにその、効果時間延長のスキルの効果がなくなるなどの調整を行っていって、サポート武器としての価値は残しつつもバランスを整えるような形にしています。
So yeah, with a view to rebalancing that, what I've actually done is the melody effects when you strengthen yourself, when you buff yourself, have actually been increased, been made more powerful. But conversely, the effect on others has been decreased to rebalance its focus. The other thing that has changed is that when you change back from the hunting horn to the other weapon that you have with you, that's the amount of time that the melody effect was being applied and for an extended amount of time. That skill has been adjusted so that when you change back to your other weapon, it's not going to hang around for as long whenever you've got the buff applied to other players. So I think that those balances still make it a valuable choice as a support weapon, but
Okay.
it just makes
That's
it less.
I think it's their
OP
only option to really
use
do,
the
honestly.
community phrase.
Yeah, hopefully that's music to the ears of our duders out there, you know, putting respect on the weapon for those that main it and are proud of the tunes they bring to the hunt. And kind of moving on from that a little bit and moving away from weapons. Well, actually, I say that we're moving further into weapons here. We've got some juicy details to go into. Earlier on in the stream, you mentioned to Guda-san in the final version that balance will be adjusted to take into the account the existence of skills that were not included in the open beta test. So that does mean that in Monster Hunter Wilds, the skill building system has changed a lot from what we know, right?
先ほどOBT に入ってなかったようなスキル
Yo,
の
they
存
actually
在
made
など
some
も
big
考慮
changes,
し
bro. We
て
gotta talk
製
about
品
it.
版の全コンテンツを通してバランスを、検討されているとのことでしたが、確かにワイルズでスキルの仕組み自体を大きく変わっていると思うんですけど、そちらについてちょっと詳細に説明してもらえますでしょうか。
はい、OBT を受けた、調整内容とちょっと話が、変わりますけれども、インタビューなど以外ではちょっとこれまできちんと説明できていなかった部分でもありますので、ご紹介させていただきます。
Yeah, this is something that isn't strictly speaking a OBT feedback response, but it's something that I think I've mentioned a few times in interviews that have gone out with the previews, but I want to take the chance on today's stream just to kind of really make it clear exactly what the implications of this new system are. So let's take a look at an example with this screenshot.
今まではその防具のパーツに装備のスキルが、ついていましたけれども、特定の武器種にしか効果がないようなタイプのスキルが入っていると、その防具に合う武器種を選ぶしかなくなってしまったりだとか、切り合わせがしにくくなってしまうみたいなことが、発生している部分がありました。
So on previous titles, the place where you put equipment skills has always been the armor rather than the weapon, right? So that meant if you needed to equip skills that were sort of specific to a certain weapon or category of weapons, there was sort of an inevitability about certain skills and certain armor gear being the kind of only viable choice whenever you were going to go out with that particular weapon equipped, and that kind of limited, I think, the players' freedom to choose what exactly it was they wanted to wear.
Yeah.
今作ではメイン武器とサブ武器を切り替えられるようになっていますので、これまでの仕組み、スキルの仕組みですと武器を切り替えた時に、せっかくのスキルビルドが無駄になってしまう場面が、出てきます。なので、今作では例えば攻撃とかガード性能のような、武器に紐づくようなスキルは武器側に、つく形にして、例えば早食いのような、補助的なスキルについては防具側につけるような形に、変更しております。
Totally agree, Chief.
The other implication of the fact that in Monster Hunter Wilds you can bring a main weapon and a sub weapon was that your carefully chosen skill build on your armor would be completely wasted and be for naught whenever you change weapon. Suddenly all of those skills that you'd equipped on the armor might not be relevant depending on what the second weapon was. So the system now has changed so that skills that are mostly tied to weapon functions such as attack boost and guard are now attached to the weapons themselves directly. And then other more supplementary skills such as speed eating are still attached to armor. And by separating out where the skills go, it means that your skill build will actually make a lot more sense even as you change weapons throughout the hunt.
Yeah, so this is a pretty significant change to how players are going to be able to build their sets, and hopefully it'll result in, lots of variety in terms of the different weapons people use and different armor sets. But one question I had is, well, what happens when weapons are upgraded? Do these skills disappear, or what happens with them?
このシステムになって、例えば武器を強化して派生で新しい武器にしたときに、自分その入ってたスキルがなくなったりすることはあるのでしょうか。
はい、ここちょっと分かりにくいところなのですごくいい質問なんですけども、同じ武器派生の強化でスキルが消えることということは、ありません。
Yeah, that's a great question and maybe a concern people might have had if it wasn't super clear how the system works. So it's a good chance to be very clear about it. Skills will never disappear from a weapon whenever you upgrade it within the same weapon tree.
今画面に映っているのが、ホープブレード2で、投資高速化のスキルが、ついているかと思います。
So as you can see here on this screenshot, the Hope Blade 2 in the equipment info panel, you can see that it's got the speed sharpening equipment skill on it.
これを強化、したスライドに変えていただきますと、
When you upgrade that, it changes to a different weapon, and I think we have a second screenshot prepared, which we can switch to now.
ホープブレード3に強化した形になると、投資高速化のスキルはついたまま、見切りの、スキルが新たに追加されています。
So as you can see with this screenshot of the Hope Blade 3, the equipment skill speed sharpening has been retained, and we've got an additional skill called Critical Eye, which has been included with the upgraded weapon.
ですので、その、スキル自体はなくならずに、別のものがついたり強化されたりしていきながら、武器派生を、強化していくことができます。
So So as you can see, the skills didn't reduce, and some can be added, and also
Nice.
the level of existing skills might be increased the more you upgrade the weapon within the tree.
That's lit.
また後半の
Side note,
派生の武器
I
にな
think
る
there's
と
an
で
ad
すね
coming in 1 minute.
武器
So
の
if y'all got a
スロッ
side
トが空
tab
い
for
ていて
YouTube,
そこ
y'all
に
go ahead and do
装
that.
飾品を入れることによって
I don't want y'all to miss
自
anything.
分好みのスキルビルドを楽しむこと
I
も
can't control the
可
ads.
能にな
I've
り
been
ます
snoozing it.
Also, in
I only
addition
get
to
3
these
snoozes.
built-in equipment skills that are baked into each level of the weapon, there are of course decoration slots. So the further you go down the weapon tree, the more decoration slots will open up on the weapon at the higher levels, and that's going to let you create your own skill build to your own liking and combine the pre-built ones with the ones you add later using decorations.
Nice.
I think that is really
Smart.
exciting. I mean, having the skills set this way means that, you know, as we mentioned earlier, that there's going to be far less instances of there being a particular weapon that is the best for, you know, multiple situations. And when you're building your sets, you know, your weapon will directly contribute to that. And also, you know, you can switch between your weapons without it, you know, neutering your armor set that you've kind of been meticulously building. So I'm really excited to see, one, what the community discover, and two, like how they use it. And, you know, I can't wait to see what all the different sword and shields have as well. So that's really cool. And now, you know, let's move on a bit. Let's have a little chat about a few other things that we've seen in the beta and things like that. And there's one thing that kind of really stood out to Joe and I, and for anyone in the community who frequents the different Monster Hunter subreddits that are out there. And one of them was the most beautiful collage. It was a collage of many hunters using shielded weapons, pulling the biggest frowns as they guarded against the wrath of monsters, kind of like a kind of face. Now, you know, what's the situation with that? What's going on there, Takuda-san?
今、ジョノまで変顔してると思うんですけど、最後の質問タイムに入らせていただきます。多くのプレイヤーが気づいた仕様としては、
Yeah, what up, Nami?
肩を構えたときに、ハンター
Yeah,
が
they did some
若
good
干
changes, bro.
変顔になり気味だったんですけど、こちらは意図的な仕様なのか、修正されるものなのか教えてください。
はい、変顔にしたかったわけじゃなくて、武器を構えた時にその気張ったような顔に、したかったんですけど、まさかちょっとあそこまで気張った顔になってるとはちょっと想定外なところがありましたので、直します。
Yeah, thank you for your very demonstrative version of the face. My intention was to show that when someone grabs tight onto a shield to guard an attack, that they would sort of be, you know, grimacing or have an intensity to the expression, but the way it turned out wasn't really what I wanted it to be. So we're going to change that in the final game and have it look a little bit less weird and a little bit more cool and intense.
Well, I'm a little bit sad that it's being changed because it was extremely funny. Totally understand that, you know, we want our hunters to be immersed in the world, and that's one of those things that might take you right out of it. So I want to shift gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about multiplayer. We did hear some feedback from players that they were a little bit confused on the different ways to get into multiplayer, and just just weren't quite sure how to play with their friends easily. So Tokuda-san, can you touch just a little bit on multiplayer,
Bro, these devs.
and matching up with friends, and how that's going to work in the full game?
Fire!
変顔がなくなること自体は
I swear to God, Monster Hunter devs best devs, bro, in the industry right now. Like, who coming close? Who's coming close right now?
次の質問になりますが、オープンベ
They
ータで
communicate with their community? They listen to their
マルチプレイの
community?
仕様について、
Make
どういう
awesome
ふうにやればいい
changes?
かわからない、つながり方わからない。
Like, who's coming
こ
close?
の仕様についてどう
It's
使ったらいい
crazy
か
that, like, literally, this is like a bare minimum for a
だと思
dev.
うんですけど
They do this, and then they're best in the industry. That just says about the industry,
ア
bro.
ドバイスを込みでアドバイスをお
Folks don't
願いし
care.
ます。
はい、まず製品版では、ロビーの ID を教え合った人しか入れない、プライベートロビーという機能だったりとか、特定のサークルの人たちだけが集まれる
Because they actually
サー
play
ク
the
ルロ
game
ビーのよう
facts.
な、友達と会いやすい機能っていうのが追加されます。
So firstly, in the full game, there will be multiplayer features that weren't included in the open beta test, which I think will make it easier to get together with just the people you want to play with. So one of those will be private lobbies, which, as the name implies, they'll have a lobby ID, and only those people who you've shared the ID with can join in. We'll also see the return of the squad system, and squad lobbies will be available only to your squad members, and that's going to make it
Yes,
so that
squads
you
are
can,
back.
you know, have your friends get together really easily.
またですね、OBT ではリンクパーティーや環境リンクといった機能が、入っていたんですけれども、これらは複数のフィールドが、ある状態で、各メンバーの環境が変化していく中で、有効に機能するようなものなので、一つのフィールドで変化の幅が少ない OBT だとちょっと分かりにくい機能に、なっていました。製品版の方では、リリース後にしかるべきタイミングで、情報を、発信していく予定になります。
On the flip side of that, there were features that were in the OBT that I think maybe didn't really, players didn't have a chance to really fully understand them, given the fact that the OBT was such a limited slice of the game.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is the link parties and also in particular the environmental link feature.
This is pretty simple to me, to be
designed
honest.
For the full game were across multiple different maps, each of which has varying weather conditions across different phases. If you imagine getting online, you and Jono and Joe want to play together with me, and we're all in different areas and we're not synchronized at all, so choosing which monster to hunt or whatever else might be difficult. The environmental link means we can kind of settle on a state for the game to be in and have that synchronized and make our gameplay go a lot smoother. With the OBT, you only had the windward plains and a limited amount of changeable extreme weather conditions, and I think a lot of players were a bit sort of having a question mark about what the functionality of these features were, but trust me, it'll make a lot more sense when the full game comes out, and we'll provide more details on how to use those effectively.
A lot of people complained about this, but it wasn't that hard
the details.
for me
I mean, it's really cool to hear that, you'll be able to have a lot more control over the multiplayer experience you want. So if you do want to play with just your pals, you can. If you want to play with your squad, or if you want to play with anyone in the world who's also playing, you can. So it's great to know that those options are going to be there for our community. And obviously, talking about multiplayer, Monster Hunter Wilds takes the multiplayer experience in Monster Hunter to a whole new level, the biggest it's ever been, with 100-player lobbies and camps that can hold up to 16 hunters at a time, which is fantastic, the kind of interactions we're all going to be able to have and that we had in the OBT. Obviously, but with that, though, there comes a lot of chatter, a lot of stickers. And if someone's being a bit cheeky, they can, spam in stickers
I didn't see that. That's
and
crazy.
Things like that. So for those of us that, might want a slightly more relaxed public multiplayer experience around, chat and stickers, what's the situation there going forward?
マルチプレイの設定面といえばですけど、多くのプレイヤーから寄せてもらっているフィードバックとしては、これだけたくさんの人数のプレイヤーが同時につながっているロビーになってしまうと、どうしてもチャットの方でメッセージやステッカーがバババってちょっとスパムのように入ってきてしまって、落ち着けないようなロビーになってしまっているという、フィードバックが多かったんですけど、こちらについて何か対策を考えられたりしますでしょうか？
はい、まず製品版の方では、特定の人の、
I don't see them not doing
発
private
言
lives.
を
They already said
自分の
squad
画面でミュートに、
squad
指
lobbies
定すること
was
が、
a thing.
できます。
Oh yeah, firstly in the full game, if one particular person is blowing up in the lobby chat, you'll be able to mute them. So that's a
Thank
very
God.
targeted feature you'll be able to make use of.
またですね、クエストだったり、リンクパーティーを組んだ時には、チャットチャンネルが自動で切り替わって、ロビーメンバーのチャット通知がされなくなるなど、いくつか対策を、入れていっています。
Also, we're going to adjust how the chat channels work whenever you do something like start a quest or a link party. What's going to happen is that the chat will automatically switch over to just the participants of that quest or that party, and you'll stop being notified of the general lobby chatter.
Yeah.
And I think that will improve the feeling of whenever you start something with just your friends or other players, that it limits the range of who you're going to hear stuff from.
On it, yeah. The sticker spam in particular was something that I got a few messages about.
Bro, sticker spam was ridiculous. I was just gonna say that.
And that was definitely something that people would have liked to adjust. So it's great to hear that's happening. Something that I was really pleasantly surprised by when booting up the open beta were all the options for the different HUD display, to have it bigger, to adjust it whether you're sitting at a TV or you're sitting at a desk. But even with that, I think there are additional areas where that could be improved. So what are our plans in the full game to adjust the HUD even further?
ハードの表示についてですけど、OBT 段階でもすでにテレビ向けの大きさやデスク向けの大きさの設定があったりして、かなり細かく入ってたと思うんですけど、さらに製品版に向けてハードの表示のオプションを追加しようと思っているのでしょうか？
そうですね。まずオプション以前にですね、そもそもの表示の部分で、武器の、固有の表示だったりだとか、一部の要素の大きさなど、見やすさに関わる調整っていうのは、入れていって、より見やすく、しています。
Well, firstly, even before we get into the idea of options you can change, I am looking at feedback on the size of the specific weapon unique UI elements that each weapon has. And we're going to review those and make sure that by the time the game comes out that the relative sizes of all those elements is going to make sense for everyone.
のアップデートで、オプションなどの拡充というのも、随時検討しております。
As for additional UI options, we're considering if we can add any in future post-launch updates, so stay tuned on that.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. Watch this space. Now, thank you so much for answering all these questions so far, Takuda-san. And, we are getting near the end of the pre-launch community update stream. So I have one small question that you may have seen amongst the community and one that Joe and I see everywhere. And, let's just between us, we'll keep it between us. Is there going to be another open beta test before launch?
Oh, God, please.
こちらからの最後の質問になるんですけど、毎日のようにコミュニティマネージャーの方の DM やインボックスにも入ってる質問なので、どうしても聞かせてほしいんですが、ここだけの話、ぶっちゃけ OBT はまた次回遊べる機会があるのでしょうか？教えてくださいと。
Come on, blink the little eyes and say yes.
ヨドロさんとかが答えるよう
Morse code me, baby.
案件だと思うんですけども、特別にお答えすると、検討自体は、しています。ですが、もし追加の OBT を実施するとしてもですね、
I wanna hear all that. I just wanna hear,
前回の
hi.
OBT
That's all I
を遊
wanna
べな
hear.
かった方だったりだと
Nothing
か、
else. Hi.
その追加の、項目テストが、主な目的となりますので、今日お話したような、
Let's go.
内容っていうのは基本的に製品版とか
That's all I
Day1
know.
パッチ向けの対応に、
Let's go.
になっていますので、OBT には反映さ
Oh my
れ
God.
ない、形になります。ちょっとその点はご了承いただきたいです。
And that's the kind of question where I'm used to leaving out to Ryozo, who'd be here with us, and he could answer that kind of high-level decision. But since you've asked, I will address that. We are considering if we will bring back the open beta test, but I would need to make clear that that would purely be essentially another chance for players who missed it the first time around to get a chance to try the game again, and we might maybe be able to add a couple of additional options here or there for people to try out. It wouldn't be something where all the various detailed weapon adjustments we've discussed today would be included. Those are strictly being worked on the basis of including them in the full game, including the day one patch. So again, it's something we haven't ruled out yet, is bringing back the open beta test, but please wait for the full game to come out in order to experience all the wonderful changes we've discussed today. And hopefully you can understand why we've had to separate those two considerations.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll have to stay tuned for the future for any news. We have covered so much today. I think this has been quite a long stream already.
They covered a lot. Honestly, I'm okay with them not doing
talk about that you'd like to discuss before we wrap things up.
今日は結構長時間にかけていろんな詳細について教えてもらえたのですごく良かったですが、逆に徳田さんの方からジョノたちからの質問でカバーできていないポイントがあればこの機会にどうぞ教えてください。
はい、この前のメディアプレビューツアーのインタビューでちょっと一つ、言い間違いをしたところがありますので訂正させていただきたいです。
Yeah, there's actually something, it's not so much new information, but I want to have the chance to clarify and maybe make up for a misstatement I might have made during some of the press interviews that we had about the game. So that's something I'd like to discuss now.
Uh-oh.
サポートハンターが傷を壊さないオプションがあるというふうに言ってしまったんですけど、そちらは電話には入らない形になります。
I think in at least one interview I said that there would be an option in the game where you could set it so that the support hunters who can join you via the SOS flare would not go and break wounds for you, that they'd leave that for you. And that's something that actually won't be in the game on day one.
発売日の仕様としては、プレイヤーが傷をつけてからしばらくの間、壊さないんですけど、1分以上ある程度経つとですね、集中弱点攻撃を使用して傷を破壊することが、発生するようになります。
So the way it's going to work at launch is that if you inflict a wound, but you, for whatever reason, you're not really proactively breaking that wound with your own focus strike, and a certain amount of time passes, maybe a minute or more passes, and you still haven't gone for it, that's the point at which the support hunters will start to look to use a focus strike to break the wound for you.
サポートハンターの、キャ
I
ラク
wish
ター
there's
に
an
よ
option
って
to turn
壊し
that
やすいだったり
off.
壊
Because
し
I'm
にくいだったり
like, what if we don't
あ
want
と
to
乗
do
りや
that?
すい乗りにくいだったり、先行玉を使ってくれやすいみたいな、
Especially from a
行
speedrunning
動
point
特
of
性という
view.
のはキャラクターによって
Yeah,
異
turn
なります。
it. But like, on the kudo,
It's something that's
who out here
sort of
doing
unique to
follower
each,
speed runs? You know what I
support
mean?
hunter's
That's just a meme
personality,
anyway.
Though. Each character has a slightly different approach and an AI working for them. So whether or not they're quicker on the draw with focus strikes or less so, it also applies to other features like how often they might try and mount a monster, whether they find mounting harder, whether they're busting out things like flash pods more often or less often. Those all kind of depend on the character themselves. So it's not something that's going to happen on a strict schedule, no matter
Okay.
what.
That's
ど
good.
のサポー
Characters
ト
have
ハ
their
ン
own
ターに来てほ
personality.
しいかという指定は、発売時はできないんですけど、タイトルアップデートでは、検討しております。
So the option that I'm looking to add, perhaps in a title update after launch, is letting players specify which NPC support hunters can join them and which ones they don't want to join them. So
That's nice.
that's how I intend to add the ability to control the frequency of that particular feature.
Nice.
あと細かいことですけど、Day 1パッ
That's
チだ
dope.
と、
Yeah, 'cause it gives the
お供
character
とかサポートハン
personality.
ターが、サインを、送ると自分のところに、来てくれるようになって、ちょっと便利になってます。
Relatedly, one additional feature I wanted to confirm was when you use the signal, this sort of ping that you activate through the menus, the palicos and the support hunters will come to your side during a hunt. So that's just a little quality of life feature that we've added.
Oh, that's really, really cool. And yeah, thank you for the little tidbits of information there.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it, Takuda-san. And with that, I think we were kind of coming to the end of our pre-launch community update. So we hope you've all enjoyed it. Joe, anything you want to say before we pass over to Takuda-san and Patrick?
Good overall.
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody out there for sharing their feedback. I know we say a lot that we are listening, and hopefully you guys feel
Good
that way
update.
after seeing all the updates here. And definitely want to take the chance to thank Takuda-san for joining us. This has been super informative, and I know you're super busy, and the team is extremely busy getting the game ready for launch.
Yeah,
so
bro, for
we
real.
very much appreciate it.
Thank
and
God it is
like
so
to
much.
Toss it over to you for any closing remarks here.
今日は非常に珍しい機会として直接いろんなお話を聞けて、徳田さんにはこの発売直前のご多忙中の時期にこれだけお時間いただいて非常に感謝しております。最後に徳田さんからユ
words of further
ーザーへのメッセージなどあればお願いします。
はい。まず、このような直接ユーザーの皆さんに声を届ける機会を作ってくれた、ジョーとジョの、パトリック、またサポートをしてくれた皆さんに、感謝、申し上げます。
Firstly, let me take the chance to thank you guys, Jono and Joe, the community managers, as well as Patrick. It's always slightly weird to refer to yourself when you're translating, but let me go with it. Thank you for your support in setting up this opportunity today.
イギリスとアメリカ、日本と、3拠点で時差も大きい中、すごく大変な作業だと思っていますが、ありがとうございました。
Yeah, we're working across 3 time zones here. So I'm in Tokuda-san, that is in Japan. Jono and Patrick are in the UK, and Joe is in the US. So it's difficult to coordinate across so many time zones. So thank you for your work on that.
Nice.
また改めまして、OBT に、ご参加いただき、さまざまなご意見をいただきましたハンターの皆さんに、感謝申し上げます。OBT ではたくさんの声をいただいてからですね、チームの働きだったり製品のクオリティの向上というのは、本当に目覚しいものがありまして、今もそれが続いています。ご期待いただけるってことがこんなにも力になるんだなってことを、改めて実感しています。
Just another, to repeat my previous sentiments, thank you so much to all the players who took part in the OBT.
All right,
it's
bro.
such a
We'll see
valuable
you.
opportunity for us to get your feedback and hear your voices, and we've taken that back to the team. It's become great motivation for them to keep working on the game's quality as we reach the final stages of development. And from what I've seen, they're doing great things, and there's some really great eye-opening stuff happening with the game, and we're continuing to work on that. So again, thank you for the opportunity to implement your feedback in the game.
It really is a pleasure. And once again, to echo Joe, thank you to Takuda-san for your time. We know how incredibly busy yourself and the team are. Thank you, Patrick, for translating for us today. It's great to have you with us again after you joined us at Gamescom. And, you know, from all of us here as well, thank you to you, the community, are awesome players. I mean, your feedback from the beta, your patience, your passion, it really is incredible. So thank you so much. And, you know, does anyone have any ideas the best way to round this off? Joe, perhaps?
We wouldn't dare do a happy hunting across multiple time zones. You'll see the lag, but we should do it. We should try it, right?
All right. Are you gonna? Do you want to give us a countdown?
ちょっと最後にどうしてもタイムラグが発生すると思うんですけど、
It's the boys of Yo, what's up, Outcast? Turn me up. What's good, bro?
ハッピーハンティングで最後の掛け声でカウントダウンの後にお願いします。
OK。
Here we go.
I'll do the countdown. All right, ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Happy hunting.
Thanks, not bad. It's not bad, actually. That did pretty good.
Everyone. All right, thank you, everybody. One more.
Yeah, OBT is the best at all, bro. Like, my brain be going all type of ways when I hear
3, 2, 1. Happy hunting.
Yo, they actually killed it, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, this is my like ADHD brain kicking in, bro. Hold on, wait, let's make sure that kick in. I got a thought I'm about to say. All right, cool, nothing kicked in. Hey, so side note, bro. Yo, this is so random. You know when motherfuckers got glasses on and they push that shit up, but they do that shit with their like middle finger? Do y'all get insulted by that? Bro, there be a couple times I be trying to come across the table with some people, bro, because I be thinking, like, yeah, it's a random thought. Y'all know how my ADHD kick in, bro, but like, you know how they be like, it be random. They be talking, you have the serious conversation, and then they just be like, yeah, I know you saying, like, bro, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Tell me how you really feel about this situation, man. Look, anyway. All right, enough of this stupid stuff. Let's talk about this real quick, and then I have to bounce out and go feed my children, bro. But we gotta talk about this. We got to. So, bro, overall, man, fat W. Fat W, bro. Fat W. He said, no, the longest finger is the one you're putting your hand over your eye, bro. Bro, look, don't get me started on that, bro. I just sit there when he was doing it. I kept like my antenna kept coming up. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. I had to put back the old me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, hey, hold on. No, we're not gonna go there. Yeah, I dubbed the mob, and then they said, while maintaining the conversation, yo, I can see them devs really feeling that way. Like, okay, you want his stop, now you don't want his stop, now you like his stop, now you don't. Yeah. Very interesting that you guys really like that. You know what I mean? So we did make some changes for you guys just to make sure that everything is okay. You know what I mean? So we really love your feedback and everything you guys had to say about the beta. But, you know, it was a really good... It's that Vincent, bro. I'm telling you, I'm looking like, I don't think you're really just happy about this feedback, bro. You don't seem too ecstatic about this constructive criticism. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know why, bro, but I'm sitting here thinking that. I'm like, bro, look, hey, okay, is everything okay? You know, talking to son? Are you trying to really talk to me, or are you talking to me? You know what I mean? Anyway, hey, yo, man, look, I'm super excited about this update. This update is fire. Insect Glaive looks so good. Oh, dear God, it looks so good. You see, I think, Wilds is Capcom's game where they are just slapping their on the table. Yeah, and don't give a about what the devs think. Bro, I'm telling you right now, like, these devs are the best devs I've ever seen for any game. Ever. Like, in all of my gaming time, these devs, and it's not glazing because I just became a Capcom creator. Like, I'm dead ass serious. I mean, I've always been saying this. And I think the consensus in the community is like a straight up, like, W. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. Bro, like, nobody listens like this. And in these community updates, who the puts on a community update? I ain't never seen, honestly, like what other game, I personally, out of the games that I play within my pool of games, have never seen like just a straight like, oh, here's an update for all of the feedback that we've taken from you guys and thoroughly break it down, answer all the questions that you've been looking for, giving you an opportunity to talk to us, not only give you a video, but talk to you live while we're doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you said Path of Exile? Never played it. So again, like I said, within my pool of games, I have never seen it. Never seen it. I've never played Path of Exile. Everyone's been on it, but it's just not my cup of tea, bro. Like that, what's that, ARPG style? Bro. Like it's hard for me to get into games like that. It's hard. I'm trying to do Final Fantasy 14. Maybe they'll break it. I did do Diablo 4 when it dropped, and I only did it because all of my IRL friends was like, dude, get on, bro, get on, play the game. I literally played it. One of my friends got banned, and then I just gave him my account. Like literally, that's exactly what I did. And then I was done with it. Like I just didn't touch it no more. I still ain't touched it. It's some ARPGs, bro. Like because I'm a reactive gameplay type dude. You know what I mean? Like I need to feel like I'm jumping around, skipping. You know what I mean? But when I feel like I'm playing a board game, I hate board games. Like whenever I go out with friends with my wife and stuff like that, like she loves board games. I hate it, bro. I can't stand board games. Board games are the worst, bro. Is there anybody in the chat, bro, that just hate board games, bro? I fall asleep. See, I'm that dude in the board game that would do random moves. Like random moves just to cause chaos. Just wake up and choose violence. That's the whole point. Said Diablo 4 sucks as though, so I don't feel bad. Yeah, I feel that. He said once you get into them, they're soul suckers. I sunk so many hours into Diablo 2 and I was like, nah, man, I gotta bounce. Dang, bro, it's really that good? But I do feel like maybe I just haven't like really allowed it to suck me in. You know what I mean? I think Diablo 4 was the first like ARPG that I played since shit, nigga. I don't know when, you know what I mean, to Beyonce. You should really look into the game Munchkin. It's a card tabletop game. Bro, there's this game that we did play. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a speed card game. Basically, it's like a circle full of a whole bunch of objects. And then you have like a dealer, right? And so the dealer lays down a card. And then once he lays down a card, whatever object is on that specific card and you have it on your card, you have to slap it and grab it. I don't know what it is, but that game was cool. But see, I need games that like, again, I'm a reactive person. Like I need games that causes me to think, react quick, do something real quick, you know what I mean? Grab it. But if it's not, if it's not, bro, like I'm an L, bro. You said Diablo 4 again just because it sucks. I feel it. I mean, I don't disagree, Nami. You know what I mean? Like, I don't disagree. I feel like it was cool. I literally just did it just because it was alright. You know what I mean? But I don't even like the thought process of me getting all of the equipment that I do get, and then it like goes away, and then I have to go do it all over again. For why? I don't like that. It makes me feel like I'm doing this pointlessly. For what reason? I like to know that I've reached one level and I never go back to that level because I'm that strong. You know what I mean? Like that's just me personally. And maybe I don't understand the system of Diablo, but it doesn't hurt my feelings that I don't though. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I don't know, dog. Like, I'm just that dude, bro. If anybody invite me to play board games, I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm gonna be like, do I like you enough to play a board game? That's the real question. Like that's literally like how I will like deal with that situation. I'm gonna be like, do I like you enough to sit down and play a board game with you? If I don't, then like, bro, I'm not showing up. But if I'm playing a board game, it's only because I value you as a person, not because the game is fun. Trash, bro. I can't stand, bro. But man, you see me in a board game and you'll see this. Bro, I straight nodding, bro. I be bobbing my head, bobbing like a Kendrick song is on. Dun, dun, dun. Not enough. Not enough. He said, "Your little adventurer, draw a card. and it's a monster you have to fight with. Hold on. You get a little. He said, "Little bit to draw a card. This monster you have to fight with. You can team up with others and help them, or you defeat monsters they draw or gain a level in game. It's just a dog pile of whoever's first, while everyone else scrambles to try to catch up. That does sound fun, actually. That doesn't sound too bad. Maybe I'm just not playing the right board games. Maybe I'm not playing the right, like Monopoly, bro. Don't play with that with me. Pure chaos, 100%. Goldfish, pure chaos, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just... Now, Uno, though. Now, Uno's different. Uno's not a board game. That's in friendships. Now, that game ends friendships. I'm not going to even lie to you. He said, in Path of Exiles, you only have to make a new character to play the current season. Otherwise, you can have a character that's just standard. You'll just have one season behind you, but you'll keep all of your loot forever. Oh, okay. That's nice. So we used to have like 8 or 9 pew games that would last forever because we would just be backstabbing pricks. Bro, backstabbing is the best part. If the game, bro, it gotta have backstabbing for me to be interesting because I just need to cause chaos. That's it. I just need chaos happening because it'll make it interesting. Yeah, bro. Yeah, board games is tough. But anyway, back to the beta. Yo. Okay, so yeah, Insect Glaive looking spicy. I feel like Lance was pretty solid. It wasn't too bad. I liked the little show to me. I just need to see it in game for Lance and for Switch X. Switch X seems cool, but I feel like it needs more. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like it needs more a little bit. I kind of feel like it needs more. He said the only thing that like you don't get in standard would be the season exclusive unlocks. Okay, people could get to level 2 in some games. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, I don't know, bro. This is board games, bro. Board games and ARPGs are like they're all going hand in hand to me. Yeah, he said some shit needs to go back in the oven. Yeah, it seemed better. It just seemed lackluster. It seemed better, but it's still not finished. Like it doesn't feel like. But then again, it may feel different once you start playing and then adding decorations too. So we definitely have to rely on that. With rapid morph, with what's it called? Power prolonger. You know what I mean? Getting an attack buff, all that. It may be a little different. I know they said Bloodsurfer was saying he wanted the evade. Back the evade slash back. So I don't know. It's not frozen in the middle anymore, but it's still underdone. Yeah, I would have to agree. It was like cool. It just needed a little bit more. 100%. So Insect Glaive, I'm fine with. Lance, I'm optimistic about. I feel like it was good changes, but I need to like see it in the application. Obviously, I'm not a Lance main, so for me, I'm a visual learner anyway. You know what I mean? That's what I told my wife when I started dating her. Anyway, I'm tripping. Yeah, dude. So that was lit. And then Sword and Shield looks actually pretty good. The hit stops and the power creep that it did. Yeah, bro. Sword and Shield actually looks good to me. That was actually pretty cool. Now, bow, I like the changes they did to bow. I like the fact that instead of all of the wounds popping up all at once, it goes one by one, like on a time thing. And you have to kind of like commit to sitting in one spot and lock in on it. I think that's pretty cool. It makes more sense now. I like that. They did change IG's charge attack, so it's not off brand with Greatsword. Bro, no, it's lit. It made it to where it has an offset, where it's an offset attack. I'm okay with that. I feel like Insect Glaive need a power move like that. Like it needed a little some, add a little to it, and it did. Like, Insect Glaive look like it's glazed, bro. It looks good. I'm so with that. I'm so excited over that, man. So the changes they did with the weapons, overall, I feel like it's a straight W. I give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10 for all the weapons. Sword and Shield not Sword and Shield. Switch Axe still seem like it need a little bit of help. So we'll have to see that in gameplay. Also, it's looking like we're not getting a demo, bro. I don't know. I might have missed it, but they addressed the Greatsword. It just didn't have damage to compete with other weapons. Did they address the Greatsword? Yeah, they did. They literally showed a video of the Greatsword True Slash, and they buffed up damage. And he said it in the interview. He buffed it. Yeah, so Great Sword is already buffed. Like he said it and showed a video. So if you go back on the video and go when he started the weapons parts, he actually said it, did it, showed the video. So Great Sword is hitting numbers, and he said that's how he's gonna do it from now on. Like, I mean, they were doing it the whole interview that he's not gonna take away anything. He's just gonna add. Like, so damage, if something's lackluster, I'm just gonna add damage to it. I'm not gonna take it away or nerf it. So basically it's impossible for us to get nerfed. It was just like the mechanics may changed. So that's nice. He did that with Bo. Bo, he literally buffed the normal damage, which is crazy. And then he just made it to where instead of all of the wounds pop up when you do your little dragon piercer, it'll pop up one by one. Boop, 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 which took more time for you to like actually lock in. And I have a feeling, I have an inkling that maybe decorations may change that. You know what I mean? You said that was as damage in the beta? Yeah, for sure. And they said it, bro. And that was like a past. That beta literally wasn't even up to date with what they currently had anyway. So, and it's looking like, bro, no demo. I mean, sad to say, but I don't think we're going to get a demo. I don't think we're going to get a beta. I don't think you're going to do a beta. I don't think they need to at this point. It's sad to say. I really don't think they need to. I think at this point, especially from how they like discussed it, I don't think they need a demo, beta. I don't think they do. I think they just need to just release the game and just let it be released. That's how I feel. Just let everybody starve. Because when it releases, bro, that many people is going to be on it, and it's going to make people want to play longer. If they do the demo, then, like, I feel like the demo was effective for Rise because Rise, everybody was on the fence about. Like, everybody was like, really? And they're like, no, bro, play the game. It's fun. Try it. Like, really get into it. And that's dope. But for Wilds, I feel like everybody's too excited. Like, they need to, like, not play the game. You know what I mean? I want launch, and I'll be happy. Yeah, that's all I need. And keep doing this. Like, just keep doing, like, the little updates, little piece of information here and there. Drop another trailer, though. I do want to see the snow region. Drop another trailer. Drop a final trailer. I'm good. That's all I really want. I just want 2 more trailers, and I'm good. That's all I need personally. Long Story's in a good place. I'm fine with it. I'm pretty sure they, did a little bit of tweaks there. I'm almost 100% sure they took away some hyper armor somewhere. I'm almost 100% sure. 100% sure, man. Yeah, bro. So it's looking good, bro. I'm really, really excited about that. See, I want Snow Map and Arkvale gameplay. Yeah. Exactly. Even just a snippet. It didn't be a lot. Even just a snippet. It's kind of crazy that I don't really see the flagship monster. Like, when you got Monster Hunter World, you knew what the flagship monster was. You know what I mean? When you got I don't know. Was Nergigante, like, visible for Monster Hunter World at launch? Or did he just kind of show up and then we were like, oh shit, this is the flagship? Oh my God. I can't remember because I wasn't there for the launch. Monster Hunter World, like, in the community. I just saw it from a distance and was like, oh, this game is cool. Do y'all know that? Nam, do you know that? Was like Nergy like out there like that? I can't remember. Either way, W fire. Performances, dear God, please lower them up standard. And the crazy thing is, bro, like, I still gotta buy all my stuff for my new GP. My friend, he got it. He got his whole new setup. But I still gotta buy mine, bro. Which is up in your face at launch? Okay, bet. I'm actually kind of cool that they're, like, not really showing it. I think they're trying something a little bit different. We were not expecting him in the Zora fight at all, though. Okay, bet. Cool. That's what it was. All right, bet. Yeah. So, yeah, overall, man, I'm excited with it. I think it's some good changes. I think the devs are amazing, bro. Best dev, bro. Just a round of applause for the devs, bro. The devs are just like, bruv. Yeah. They did their thing. They did it, and they did it well, man. So, anyway, I'm gonna probably make a few videos this week about at least the weapon changes. I'll touch on some of the performances, but it'll be mainly about the weapon changes as well as just some of the things that the skills, you know what I'm saying, and stuff that they were talking about as far as the building. I think the building is a W. Making it to where attack skills is own weapons and then armor skills is only armor skills. And then you can switch them out to change those and alternate those. And as you upgrade, like the weapon upgrade, bro, W. Everything, all that's a W. I think that's because it's going to force diversity. Force it. I love the fact that we gotta like come in prepared, and it's gonna make more sense to have like, you know, a fire longsword and an ice longsword, bro. Like there's gonna be so many builds, bro. Nami, we gotta get ready, bro. We gotta get ready. If we gonna, I'm gonna have to like make a channel for like each weapon and like just put in builds. Like I'm gonna have to figure out something on my Discord because like, bro, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm gonna have to like up it up. It's gonna have to be crazy. It's gonna have to be nuts. Because I will say though, that it was because of pre-launch the demo Nergi put Arch Tempered in diapers. Wait. I will say that it was because pre-launch demo Nergi put Arch Tempered in diapers. Really? Was he that hard pre-launch? Was he that hard? Demo Nergi was a god? Bro, it's crazy because I don't even see any videos about pre-launch Nergi. I still got pre videos of Magnum Malo. I remember Magnum Malo launch. That shit was fun. Magnum Malo launch was actually really fun. I like that. That's crazy, bro. That's nuts. That's nuts, bro. I can see it too. Nergigante, bro. I hope he's in this game, but I don't think he's gonna be. I think it's too much to ask. Like, who I'm hoping for is Gamif to be in here, Lagaya Chris to be in here, Oda Garen to be in here. Yes, I've seen the leaks, but I still don't trust it. But these is my hopes. I'm hoping that what's that Narcoccus, whatever her name is, either Narcoccus or a different snake wyvern will be in here. That's what I'm hoping for. So, but we'll see, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it go. Anyway, I gotta be a good father. Go check on my kids. Literally, they're in there by themselves, so I have to go check on them, see what's going on. But I may stream later on today. So you guys keep, you said Nurgilla? Yeah, Nurgilla. I might have said it wrong. I may stream later on today. I've been grinding out Devil Jin Nergigante, so I got my game up and running like I need to. So guys, you're gonna be laughing because it's gonna be crazy. So most likely it will be this week is definitely gonna be Nergigante, Devil Jin Nergigante speed runs as well as probably some MSGU. So yeah, man, you guys are gonna look forward to that. It's gonna be kind of funny. I'm on bereavement, so I had my some family members pass away. So I'm basically off the rest of this week. So I definitely will be streaming. That sounded kind of heartless, but nonetheless, just giving you guys an update so you know where I'm at. So I do apologize for the lack of content. Just been kind of like going through that. But now we're good to go. We're solid. I'm back in the game. We locked in, and I'll be pushing out YouTube content like normal. So if you guys aren't on my YouTube, do it, bro. Get in there. Hopefully, bro, I'm gonna try to talk to Capcom and see if we can get some keys, man. Hopefully, we'll see how it go. But I'm new in the game, so I don't know what they'll do. You know what I mean? So, but nonetheless, bro, appreciate you guys for coming through. Love you. Hope you guys have a great day. And if I stream later on, just stay